Right, hello, I've got a sort of requested video here because a few people recently said there's some masks turning up on UK eBay, and obviously for those of you that don't know, because of Corona, lots of masks have just gone silly in price at the moment. And lots of basically masks were going, because they were going crazy in price, there were some masks that were listed for a decent price. So quite a few people asked me, could I buy one and see was it any good or not? Now, unfortunately, the bad news is, by default, this mask is actually designed to be used with like an air supply. It's not a 40mm one, but I didn't realise that when I bought it because there weren't very close-up pictures of it. I believe it's an MSA Auer, but it's like an air supply variant compared to whatever the model name was. Was it the Free? That was, the one that I've done a video on before and a few people have bought. That was actually quite alright, because most of the mask is the same as that. So this is what the mask looks like. So it's got a tinted front. I don't know if this is an officially tinted thing, or if somebody's just done this at some point with them. That's quite cool. It's done pretty well if somebody has done it, themselves. But it might be if this is a fireman style one, it's tinted on purpose to, allow less heat through, I don't know. But as you can see, it's not a 40mm. I think with a lot of these though, because it's got the right sort of valve setup, I believe, in this, you could probably get some sort of 40mm converter on it and it would work fine. It's not one of those ones where it's designed to always work with positive air pressure. So anyway, you've got a neck strap here. I'll at least show you the mask and then you can see what you think of it. It's got an oral nasal cup in there. It does say Auer actually on the little metal grate bit in there. So let's just put it on, tighten it, and I'll tell you what I think. And I need to really cut my hair this week so I can get mask to fit me a bit better. But here we go. So yeah, pretty good seal actually. So this is actually a good mask. It's just a shame that it's not in 40mm. So not much I can say about it. The tinting definitely works. There's not much light coming through this. And yeah, so this mask would be ideal if you just wanted to buy one as like a costume prop for something. But if you wanted one for actual, real use, you'd need to find some way of getting filters to go on it. But at least the seller was selling these for not too much money. So the numbers on the side, 2055-751, OB239298, quality assurance symbol 015A, EN136, 1998 CL3. I'd assume this mask then is called the CL3, so maybe it's an MSA Auer CL3, and it was the MSA Auer something else free, which was the 40mm version. That would make a lot of sense if that's the case. So, for those of you that have basically, not seen the video on the MSA Auer, go watch that one I did probably a year or so plus ago. Because what this essentially is, from all I can tell without even digging out my Auer to double check, I'm pretty certain this is essentially the same mask, just designed to work with an air supply system as opposed to 40mm filters. So it has all the pros and cons of the MSA Auer in reality. So I can't do any tests with it. But, the actual reality is that, unless, obviously, yeah, that bit doesn't come off. I was saying, I think you can probably get some adapter that turns that into a 40mm system. You could probably, even without getting an adapter, rig up an airtight connection with a filter if you just wanted it for some, something basic. But yeah, so these are turning up on eBay at a sensible price, considering, again, how ludicrous mask prices are at the moment. Where people are wanting now close to £100 for an S10, easily north of £100 for an FM12. The Sperian ones, those Polish Finend Sperian masks, whatever they're called, those are still going for sensible prices, I think, from a few sellers. So that's one of the few masks I can actually think of at the moment on eBay that's not being ridiculously overcharged for what it is. Obviously, you can still get some really old surplus masks that are going for really old surplus prices. But I'm just sort of thinking, is there anything that's still a pretty practical mask? And the answer is not really. Not for sensible money, but I don't look at the listings that much. Because as a lot of you know, I'm selling off quite a bit of my collection at this point. Because of bunker money, and that sort of stuff. So, there we go. So, for this mask, yeah, I bit the bullet and I bought one. It's basically, from what I can tell, an MSA Auer designed for airline systems, not designed for 40mm filters. So please bear that in mind if you're thinking of getting one, but at least the seller wasn't charging an arm and a leg for them, and it's in fairly good condition if you gave it a bit of a clean. You know, none of the rubber's torn or anything on this particular one. You know, it could do with a polish, but other than that, it's in good condition. And, you know, it has got that very cool sort of tint on it, and I don't know if that's an official thing, or if somebody's done that at some point to the lot he had for sale. But yeah, they're pretty cool looking things, and, you know, depending on what you want it for, it might be useful or not, but there you go, I've paid the money and taken the gamble for you. There you go.